What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Thursday, April 27th, and we are breaking down all 11 games on the slate. First time you've been here? Check us out. If you find this at all helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 10,000 subs before the All-Star break. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the pitching, all of the bats that we like. So we're going to go through each game and check it out. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, get them down below. At the end of this video, if you have questions or you have ideas of what more you would like to see in these videos, please let us know. We're trying to make it just all-inclusive as we can. So if you do have comments or questions, get them here. We will try to answer them. We do have two ways to win a free month subscription to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. That is, be a subscriber, hit the like button. If this video gets 50 likes, one person will be drawn out of the subscribers of our YouTube page. So you have to have your your YouTube channel has to be open and not on private, because if it's on private, it won't show you as a subscriber. But if this video gets 50 likes, one subscriber will randomly get drawn and they will win. And another way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber and tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in. So two pretty fun ways to do it. It just gets the engagement with you guys. So would love to help you guys out here. So jumping right into it, you got the Marlins at the Braves, the first game of the 11 games. Braxton Garrett versus Kyle Wright. Garrett, 29 plate appearances, a 273 batting average against him. He's only striking out 10.3% of those batters, so it's a little – he's not striking out a ton there. That's the problem, because the strikeouts are what's going to be the fantasy points. On the flip side of that, Kyle Wright, 61 plate appearances, 115 batting average, striking out 32.8% of those batters. I always love Kyle Wright when he's in a great matchup, and this is a great matchup for him. So let's check out what Braves bats have had success against Garrett in the past. We'll look at those, and we can see if we like any in this one here. So looking at this, I mean – the numbers are skewed a little bit. I mean, other than that, there's only been two people who've had success. Vaughn Grissom, 2 for 3. Ronald Acuna, 1 for 2. While, they don't have good numbers against him, if his strikeouts aren't there, it's going to be a problem. I don't mind Garrett as a GPP option, but again, it's one that I'm weary about, because if he's not getting the strikeouts, he's not going to get us a ton of points. On the flip side of that, what bats have had success against Kyle Wright? Garrett Cooper's 1 for 7 with a home run. They really only one with the home run. And then the only other person with an extra base hit is Jesus Sanchez. Other than that, I mean, they haven't had success. I mean, Jazz has struck out 6 times. Yeah, there's no Marlins bats here that I would like. So I would look at some. I wouldn't mind if you're going to take bats in this game. I would look at the Braves. But overall, I'd look at Garrett as a GPP-only pitcher. I'd look at Kyle Wright as cash or GPP, SP1 or SP2 on DraftKings. Next game on the slate, Dodgers at the Pirates. You got Julio Urias versus Mitch Keller. Urias, 48 plate appearances, a 186 batting average. I know the Pirates have been hitting well. It just depends what team's going to show up. I would like this game if it was more. I'd like this game more if it was in LA, but we can't get that. We've got that in Pittsburgh. 20.8 K percentage. We'll look at the bats, but they have been hitting well, so that is something that does scare me, which is crazy to say. I wouldn't have said that a month ago. Mitch Keller, on the other hand, 32 plate appearances, striking out 15.6% of those batters, and a 292 batting average. So looking at the Pirates bats, just ones that stick out to me. Jack Sawinski seems like he's always hitting. Brian Reynolds. Kutch is hitting a home run every time I see a box score, it appears. Kutch 2 for 12 with a home run and a double, so both of his hits have been extra base hits. Cabrian Hayes 3 for 8 with 2 doubles. Jack Sawinski 1 for 6. I mean, but he's still been on fire lately. So if you're not taking Urias, I don't mind like a small Pirate stack. Hayes, Sawinski, Kutch, maybe Brian Reynolds. Hasn't faced him before. On the flip side of that, Mitch Keller against the Dodgers. Dodgers batting 292 against him, so we can dig into those bats a little bit. Why is it 292? Who has been out there the most? So we can see Jason Hayward 2 for 12 with a double and a home run. Seen him a little bit, both being in the NL Central. Freddie Freeman batting 4 for 6, which is really good numbers there. Mookie's 1 for 3, but that one is a home run. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. If I were to take bats, it would be Hayward, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and depends on who else is out there. James Outman has been on fire. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. I won't have Mitch Keller. I'll have a little bit of Urias and GPP, but I won't have either of these guys in cash. Not at all. Mariners at the Phillies is next. You got George Kirby versus Matt Strahm. Kirby, 7 plate appearances, hasn't given up a hit, striking out 42.9. What is that? 3? I would say 3 strikeouts. Matt Strahm, on the other hand, 16 plate appearances, 31.3% K, 250 batting average. I honestly don't really like either of these guys in pitching. We just have better pitching matchups overall today. Yeah, I mean, 3 strikeouts. There's not much. There's not much that I really like about this one. I would be looking at maybe some of the bats, but overall, I'm probably going to be focusing on more of other games. This is kind of just a game that I would not stay away from, but I'm not going to have a ton of exposure to it. Next game, the Padres at the Cubs. Seth Lugo versus Hayden Wesneski. Lugo, 33 plate appearances, 167, batting average, 33.3 K percentage. And then on the flip side of that, Wesneski's never faced anyone before. I don't mind Wesneski here. Again, if you've been here before, you know that I love pitchers who have never faced anyone before. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. I know Lugo's numbers are okay here. I would like this game more if it was in San Diego. The Cubs bats that have had success, which aren't very many, as you can see, but he does have 33.3 K percentage. Any of the bats here, I mean, Tucker Barnhart, 2 for 3 with a home run. Eric Hosmer, 1 for 3 with a double. Dansby, 1 for 13 with a double. So not much going on. So I don't mind either of these pitchers. I think both are probably only GPP for me on this slate. This is more of a day where there's only 11 games. There's not a ton of huge options that I like, so I might take it easy on this a little bit. I'm not going to go deep into this game. Next game we got is the Cardinals at the Giants. Miles Mikolas versus Logan Webb. Mikolas, 41 plate appearances, a 222 batting average. Only striking out 17.1% though. But this is in San Francisco. It is a pitcher's park, which I really love. You guys know that already. Logan Webb, on the other hand, 61 plate appearances, 18 K percentage, which isn't high, but a 268 batting average against him. Probably, there's just other options pitching-wise. So I don't mind either of these for GPP, but I'm not liking them in cash today. Just kind of looking at them. I mean, Brandon Crawford, 3 for 11 with a home run. Austin Slater, 1 for 1 with a home run. Not much else. But the strikeouts, it's not very high. Same thing with Logan Webb. Cardinals bats that have had success in the past against him. If it'll load. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Looking at this, Arenado, 3 for 13. Goldie, 3 for 10. Edmund, 2 for 8 with a double. Paul DeYoung, 4 for 6 with a home run. I kind of like some bats, but I'll probably avoid these pitchers in cash. Throw them in GPP if you're making multiple lineups and playing massive GPPs, but there's just other different options we could go with. Speaking of one, Athletics at the Angels, JP Sears versus Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani, 59. I'm not even looking at Sears at all. Ohtani, 59 plate appearances, 32.2 K percentage, 0.082 batting average against him. Absolutely love Ohtani in this one. Would like it a little bit more if it was in Oakland because of that stadium, but Ohtani should shove. There's a reason he's the picture of this video in the article. He's a stud. We know what he is. I would not be surprised if Ohtani gets double-digit strikeouts in this one. Orioles at the Tigers is next. Kyle Gibson versus Joey Wentz. Gibson, 119 plate appearances, 236 batting average. I don't mind that. He is striking out 30%. I won't have any exposure to Wentz. I will be looking at Baltimore bats, and I will be looking at Kyle Gibson there. The Baltimore bats that have had Kyle Gibson, his numbers, and GPP. I'm not taking Gibson in cash. I don't trust that man because Tigers have been hitting. If we ever start to try and target someone, the Tigers seem to hit. Baltimore bats, I mean, Mountcastle 1 for 5, Rushman 3 for 6, Urias. So, yeah, I would look at a Baltimore stack, and then you could look at Gibson for GPP, but that's about it. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to cut the video about 3 times because my daughter keeps coming downstairs. But next game on the slate, Nationals at the Mets. Trevor Williams versus Joey Lucchesi. Williams, 55 plate appearances, 208 batting average, striking out 21.8% of those batters. Lucchesi has only faced 8 of these batters on Washington, struck out 25%, 500 batting average. Again, there are other options on this slate that I would be looking at, so I'm not really looking at these guys. At the moment, none of these bats jump out to me. Once I do the BVP, once I do the batting trends, then I'll look to see if those jump out at me. But as of right now, nothing in this game. This will be a game that I'm probably steering clear of and moving on to different games. Then you got Tampa Bay at the White Sox. As of right now, it's to be announced for Tampa Bay. Could mean an opener. We're just waiting on news on that, so that'll come through later. Flip side of that, Dylan Cease against Tampa Bay, 60 plate appearances, 28.3 K percentage, 240 batting average. I do like Cease here, and I like how this game's in Chicago instead of at that terrible Tropicana field, so that's what I'm looking at. I am looking at Cease here. I think he'll go a little under-owned just because of the other pitching options on the slate. Plus, we're seeing that Tampa Bay is just so good that people might not go against them. So that's kind of my thought process in this game. But yeah, looking at that, as of now, no bats in this one. Royals at the Minnesota Twins is next. Zach Greinke versus Tyler Mahle. Greinke, 154 plate appearances, a 269 batting average. If you followed us at all, you know that I do not like Greinke. I will not have him in any of my lineups. I will always stack against him. Minnesota, Tyler Mahle, 40 plate appearances, a 143 batting average, striking out 15% of those batters. I do like Mahle here just because it is against the Royals' anemic offense. I would like a little bit better if it was in Kansas City, but we'll take what we can get. Then the Minnesota bats that have had success against Greinke in his long career. Carlos Correa is 7 for 29, batting .241, no extra base hits. Joey Gallo 1 for 19, but he's been hitting home runs lately, so he's intriguing for GBP, but not for cash. Michael A. Taylor 3 for 15 with a double. Not much there. Byron Buxton 6 for 15 with a triple. We got to take Buxton as much as we possibly can until he gets hurt, which will inevitably happen soon, probably. Max Kepler 3 for 13. Nothing much there. Jose Miranda, I believe, had 2 home runs yesterday. GPP option, I don't mind him. Nick Gordon 7 for 13 with 2 doubles and a home run. So, 3 of his 7 base hits have been extra base hits, which is great. Trevor Larnach is 3 for 5 with a home run, so we got that. And then Donovan Solano, 1 for 6, but that 1 hit was a home run. So I am looking at a Minnesota stack, and I am looking at Mahle here, but I do not like Greinke at all. Then the final game on the slate, on this 11-game slate, Garrett Cole versus Andrew Heaney. Garrett Cole has been lights out this season, 93 plate appearances, a 259 batting average. Striking out 35.5% of the batters he's faced, comes in with a sub-1 ERA here, and he's got a ton of strikeouts. I think he'll go a little bit under-owned because, again, Ohtani is on this slate, on this day, so he should go under-owned. I absolutely love Cole in this one. And then Andrew Heaney, 76 plate appearances, a 261 batting average, striking out 25% of those batters, facing his old team. So if you are going against Garrett Cole because maybe he has his first bad outing of the year and he gets some bats against him, let's see who's had success against him in the past. Looking at the numbers here, Marcus Semien 8 for 35 with a double and 3 home runs, batting .229, but he does have those 3 extra base hits, or 4 extra base hits, 3 of them being long balls. Robbie Grossman 4 for 10 with a home run. Adolis Garcia 4 for 9 with a home run. Tavares 1 for 2 with a home run as well. So you can kind of look at that. I don't know how much exposure I'll have to any of those Texas bats, but if I'm making 20 lineups or whatever I'm making, I would look at a Texas stack in case it happens, but I don't have good thoughts on he's going to get lit up. Let's go Texas all the way. And then if we look at the bats against Heaney, IKF 5 for 19 with a double. Not much. DJ LeMahieu 6 for 12 with a home run, who's been on fire this season. Willie Calhoun 4 for 11 with a home run. Aaron Judge 1 for 7 with a home run, and Anthony Rizzo 1 for 3 with a home run there. So those are kind of the bats that I'd be looking at. I'll be looking at more. You can check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com for all of that information, the bats, the stacks, the optimal stacking for Fanduel and DraftKings with this many games on the slate, the Fanduel and DraftKings batter trends. We've got our ballpark rankings, and we also have the MLB odds that'll be out there as well. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button and put those comments, questions, or concerns down below. And then if you want to go check those out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is there. And then out of everything we just talked about, if you want to see the pitchers and all of the bats that we like and some stacks we like out of everything we went over, click the link down below in the description of that video. That is today's article, and you can find all of that right there. Good luck today, and as always, bring home that bacon. Peace.